What's up, dummies? Today we're about to react to the worst Thanksgiving deaths ever. So Thanksgiving is right around the corner, and look at this, bro.
What the hell,
Somebody actually got stuck in the oven during Thanksgiving. That is insane. We're about to find out the worst Thanksgiving deaths that actually happened on Thanksgiving. Try not to die, try not to laugh, try not to whatever. Let's go. Nobody was hurt, by the way, YouTube.
Accidental salmonellosis death.
Huh?
On November 28, 1995, the Martinez family gathered in their Las Vegas home for what should have been a joyful Thanksgiving celebration. Maria Martinez, 42, had spent the morning preparing a traditional feast for 7 family members. The table was set with turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, and all the customary sides.
Wow.
No one suspected that deadly bacteria were multiplying in their food.
Oh my God. Wait. Turkey can have deadly bacteria and you can die? Oh my God, dude, I'm not eating turkey tomorrow, bro.
Prepared the turkey the way she always did. But 2 critical mistakes occurred during preparation. The bird had been thawed at room temperature for nearly 24 hours, and the stuffing, made with raw eggs, had been prepared the night before and left inside the turkey overnight. The turkey was large, nearly 25 pounds, and despite appearing—
Damn, 25-pound bird? How did you even get that, bro? What the hell? Who's in your family? Bunch of
fully cooked when served, the center of the bird and stuffing hadn't reached the temperature needed to kill bacteria.
Wow.
The family ate heartily, commenting on how delicious everything tasted.
Bro, he said, "Thank you, darling." He doesn't even know that apparently somebody's gonna die from eating this turkey, bro. He's like, "Oh, thank you for making it." No, you should punch her. I mean, he didn't know, but all right, I'm not gonna pause the video anymore. Everybody always says, you can always pause the video. I'm not gonna pause it. If I pause it again, you can unsubscribe, I promise. All right, let's watch these deaths.
12 hours, the first symptoms appeared. Maria's husband, Carlos, 45, developed severe stomach cramps and diarrhea. By the following morning, 5 other family members were experiencing similar symptoms.
Oh my, bro, their whole family. Look at this, bro. Their whole family is just like, he said they had diarrhea, bro. Look, diarrhea. I hope you guys have multiple bathrooms because Jesus, imagine just pooping everywhere, bro.
Family members were experiencing similar symptoms. Most concerning was Maria's mother, Elena Vasquez, 78, who became rapidly dehydrated. The family initially dismissed their illness as a simple case of food poisoning that would pass. They treated themselves—
This is water, by the way. It's not what you think it is, so chill. I hate when people comment and say, DJ drinking beer.
over-the-counter medications and tried to stay hydrated with sports drinks. Elena's condition deteriorated most quickly.
Jesus Christ, she looks stupid. Look at her.
Her son-in-law found her unconscious in the bathroom 2 days after the meal. Her body severely dehydrated from persistent vomiting and diarrhea. Paramedics rushed Elena to Desert Springs Hospital. Her blood pressure was dangerously low, and her body temperature had risen to 103 degrees Fahrenheit. Doctors diagnosed severe sepsis, a life-threatening condition caused by the body's extreme response to infection.
There's a disease called stepsister? What the hell?
Bacteria had entered her bloodstream, triggering a cascade of organ failures. Despite aggressive treatment with antibiotics and intravenous fluids, Elena's condition worsened. Her kidneys shut down, followed by respiratory distress.
Bro, her kidneys shut down, her organs stopped working, all because of this freaking turkey that her granddaughter made. You messed it all up.
2 hours after the Thanksgiving meal, Elena Vasquez was pronounced dead.
Bro, she died after eating turkey, bro. Oh my God. I mean, that's what you get for putting raw eggs inside of a turkey. I never understood when people put stuff inside the turkey. You're putting it in the turkey hole. Why are you even digging in there? Okay, I'm not going to pause the video anymore. I promise.
Cause: salmonella and enteritidis infection complicated by severe dehydration, septic shock, and multiple—
Okay, we're going to skip past this. I mean, yeah, this old lady died, whatever. Let's see what else happened on Thanksgiving. All right, here's the next one.
Thanksgiving weekend plane crash.
Huh?
On November 24th, 2011, 39-year-old pilot—
Dude, November 24th is one day before my birthday, 2011. That means I must have been like 72 years old. Jesus Christ, bro.
Prepared for a short flight from Falcon Field in Mesa, Arizona. The Thanksgiving holiday weekend had just begun, and Perry had planned a special trip for his 3 young children. Morgan, 9, Logan, 8, and Luke, 6, were excited.
Oh my God, bro. He was... So there's 3 little kids and their dad's a pilot. He was going to fly them across the world for a Thanksgiving in their private plane. Don't tell me. Oh.
Be flying with their father to his parents' home in Safford for Thanksgiving dinner. Perry was joined by Russell Hardy, 31, a mechanic and close friend, and Joseph Hardwick, 22, another pilot who was coming along for the journey. The 6 boarded a twin-engine Rockwell Aero Commander 690, a turboprop aircraft that Perry had piloted many times before. The plane took off at 6:31 p.m., just 15 minutes after takeoff. As the aircraft approached the Superstition Mountains east of Phoenix, something went terribly wrong. The plane was flying at approximately 4,500 feet, but the treacherous mountains rose to over 5,000 feet.
Bro, pull the plane up!
Flight data later showed
I've had this happen in GTA, bro. You just gotta pull the plane up.
in course or altitude as the aircraft approached the terrain. At 6:46 p.m., the Rockwell slammed directly into the western face of the mountain known as Flatiron. The impact was catastrophic and immediate. Witnesses reported seeing a fireball erupt on the mountainside, illuminating the rugged landscape for miles around. The explosion echoed through the valleys below.
Bro, there was like 3 people on the plane, but then 3 kids too. Oh.
Karen Perry, the children's mother, was at home when she received the devastating news.
Oh my God, she stayed home to do Thanksgiving with her family, but then her son and husband went to go do Thanksgiving somewhere else, and then she got a call on Thanksgiving, yo, your family's dead. Oh my God.
Been preparing Thanksgiving decorations for the children's return the next day. First responders reached the crash site shortly after, but the scene confirmed their worst fears. The aircraft had disintegrated on impact, scattering wreckage across nearly half a mile of steep, rocky terrain. The bodies of all 6 occupants were recovered over the next 2 days. The temperature drop at night and the difficult terrain complicated recovery efforts. Autopsies later confirmed that death would have been instantaneous for all aboard when the plane struck the mountain at approximately 200 miles per hour.
200 miles per hour smacking the mountain, just like, oh my God, dude, I'm getting on a plane tomorrow morning. I'm going to some family Thanksgiving. Dude, why are you showing me plane crashes, bro?
Safety Board investigation revealed that the pilot had been flying under visual flight rules rather than instrument flight rules. In the darkness, Perry likely never saw the mountain looming in front of him until it was too late. Fatal hunting accident.
All right, here's the next one.
On November 27th, 2021, the woods of
that was only
Jackson
4 years
Township,
ago.
Pennsylvania, were filled with hunters. It was the Saturday after Thanksgiving, coinciding with the first day of deer hunting season. A tradition deeply embedded in the state's culture. For many families, the opening day was as much a part of Thanksgiving weekend as the turkey dinner itself. William Tripp, 71, was an experienced hunter who had been stalking game in these forests for over 5 decades.
Okay, so these people in Pennsylvania, after they eat their turkey and stuff, they go hunt and they get deer. Okay, so that's a thing. Don't tell me someone's gonna shoot him instead of shooting the deer. Oh my God, dude. I know turkey makes you tired. Like when you eat turkey, you get tired, but it shouldn't make you stupid to shoot somebody. Okay, why am I assuming? I haven't even seen it yet.
That morning, he set out before dawn, dressed in the bright orange vest and hat required by state law. He carried a Remington 3806 that he had owned for 20 years.
Oh, I like how he drew the gun as a banana because YouTube be on balls.
State law. He carried temperatures hovering around 30 degrees. Tripp was hunting with several family members, including his grandson's friend, Jared Miller. The group had separated to cover more ground, maintaining radio contact as they moved through the dense woodland. Around 10:45 a.m., Miller spotted movement approximately 100 yards away through a thick stand of trees. Believing he had sighted a deer, Miller raised his rifle and peered through the scope. The forest was dappled with light and shadow, creating a confusing visual environment. What Miller thought was the brown flank of a deer was actually Tripp's jacket, partially visible between the trees. Without waiting to confirm his target, Miller squeezed the trigger. The high-velocity bullet struck Tripp directly in the head. The impact was catastrophic, causing immediate and fatal trauma to his brainstem. Other hunters in the area heard the shot, followed by silence. No radio call came from Tripp. After several minutes without response, his son began searching for him. When they found Tripp's body, it was already too late. He had died.
Oh my God.
Instantly from the single gunshot.
Bro, so he went hunting with his whole family, and one of his, I think the dude said his son's friend, one of his grandson's friend or son's friend was hunting with them, and he was far away, and he was like, oh, I think that's a deer. Boom, shot him, and he shot his grandpa in the head.
Blood stained the fallen leaves around him, steaming slightly in the cold morning air, despite having followed proper protocol by wearing high-visibility orange.
Is this guy gonna go to jail or not? I mean, it was an accident, so there's no way you go to jail, right? I mean, let's see what happens. No way he's going to jail.
Angle and lighting had made it impossible for Miller to see it through his scope. First responders arrived within 30 minutes, but could only confirm what the family already knew. William Tripp was pronounced dead at the scene. An autopsy later confirmed that the bullet had severed his brainstem, causing immediate cessation of all bodily functions. There would have been no pain, no awareness of what had happened. The Pennsylvania Game Commission classified the incident as an accidental shooting. Miller, devastated by what he had done, required psychological counseling in the months that followed. Jupiter family. On November 26, 2009, 17 members of the Seton and Merhige families gathered for Thanksgiving dinner in Jupiter, Florida. The elegant home in a quiet neighborhood was filled with conversation and laughter as relatives caught up over traditional holiday fare. No one noticed anything unusual about 35-year-old Palmer Higgs' behavior as he sat quietly at the dinner table.
Bro, this guy, yep, he's about to shoot something, bro. He's about to do something, bro. Oh my God. Do not invite weirdos to your Thanksgiving, all right? The Thanksgiving I'm going to, there's gonna be a lot of people there, but I'm gonna be checking. I'm gonna be making sure everyone's normal.
Higgs had driven 90 miles from his Miami home to join the celebration. He had a history of mental illness, but family members later said there were no warning signs that day.
Bro, you gotta stay home, dog. Go eat with a homeless guy or something.
Participated in the meal, even saying grace before dinner. For 3 hours after the meal concluded, the evening continued normally, with family members relaxing in different rooms.
I have a feeling that he is going to poison the food. I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but it seems like this guy's creepy, and oh God. Okay, let's just see what happens.
At approximately 10 p.m., Merhige calmly retrieved a hand. He re-entered the house and methodically began shooting his relatives. His first victims were his twin sisters, 33-year-old Carla Merhige and pregnant Lisa Knight. Both women died instantly from gunshot wounds to the head. He then turned the gun on his 76-year-old aunt, Raymond Joseph, killing her where she sat in the living room. As family members screamed and fled, Merhige moved through the house with chilling determination. Michaela Sitton was in her bedroom, having just been tucked in by her father. Merhige entered the child's room and shot her multiple times as she lay in bed. When police later questioned him about killing the little girl, he showed no remorse, stating, "I didn't want her to grow up with this." During the rampage, Merhige also shot his brother-in-law Patrick Knight and his uncle Muriel Sitton, though both survived their injuries. As family members huddled with the wounded and called 911, Merhige fled the scene. Before leaving, witnesses heard him say, "I've been waiting 20 years to do this."
What?
Merhige evaded capture for over a month before being arrested.
Bro, he was on the run for a month, bro. Why would you do that at Thanksgiving, bro? I mean, I understand. Okay, I don't understand, but like, the reason he waited for Thanksgiving is because he knew all of his family would be together. This guy's messed up. Now, obviously, you shouldn't do that. That's stupid. But like, he was planning this out. He was like, when is my whole family? Yeah, this guy's got to go to jail for life. Murder him, actually. Put him down, all right?
Hotel in the Florida Keys. During his trial, psychiatric evaluations revealed he had meticulously planned the.
Yeah.
He was sentenced to 7 consecutive life terms in prison.
Bro, what? He's got to serve 7 life terms? Bro, he's going to be dead after 1 life term. Why? I never understood that, bro. 7, or like when they say like, oh, you're going to jail for 130 years. You think this dumb guy is going to live for 130 years? Bro, just kill. Oh, you know, I'm going to have to block out what I just said. I basically said, get rid of him. All right, let's go. I'm not trying to get demonetized.
On November 20th, 2018, just days before Thanksgiving, emergency responders rushed to a mansion fire in the affluent community of Colts Neck, New Jersey.
Someone's house caught on fire during Thanksgiving? Oh my gosh, that's sad, bro.
1,700 square foot home belonged to Keith Canero, a 50-year-old tech CEO, his wife Jennifer, and their 2 young children. As firefighters battled the blaze, they made a horrific discovery on the front lawn. Keith's body, shot multiple times, including once in the head. Wow. Inside the burning house, the scene was even more disturbing. Jennifer Canero, 45, had been stabbed and shot. The bodies of 11-year-old Jesse and 8-year-old Sophia were found severely burned. The medical examiner later determined they had been stabbed to death before the fire was set.
Wait, so who was there? If it was the dad, the mom, and the 2 daughters, who did they invite over for Thanksgiving that ended up doing that? They need to figure out who was at the house because the person escaped. Let's see if they figured out who did it. Bro, okay, yep, it's over. You killed the dog.
Just hours earlier that morning, firefighters had responded to another fire 12 miles away in Ocean Township. That home belonged to Paul Canero, Keith's 51-year-old brother and business partner. Initially, Paul was seen as another victim, his house supposedly targeted by the same unknown assailant. He stood with his wife and daughters watching their home burn, appearing distraught. The truth was far more sinister. Investigators soon discovered Paul had murdered his brother's entire family, then set their mansion ablaze to destroy evidence. Before dawn that morning, Paul had driven to his brother's home, shot Keith multiple times on the lawn, then entered the house. He methodically killed Jennifer with a knife and gun, then moved to the children's rooms. After ensuring all 4 family members were dead, he set fires in multiple locations throughout the home. Paul then returned to his own house in Ocean Township, used gasoline to start a fire on his property, and created an alibi by discovering...
Wow. Wow. So he was acting like his house got burned down too. Oh no, it's so sad. But he wanted to probably kill his brother because his brother was the tech CEO who had a lot of money. He was probably going to get the money. Oh my gosh, bro.
Family. The carefully orchestrated plan was meant to make it appear that both families were targeted by an outside threat.
I just said that.
The motive was financial. The brothers co-owned 2 businesses, and Keith had recently discovered that Paul was stealing money from their ventures. Keith had told associates he was considering cutting business ties with his brother. Court records revealed Paul had embezzled nearly $75,000. Paul Canero was charged with 4 counts of first-degree arson, theft, and weapons offenses. Coconut Grove fire. Wow. On November 28, 1942, the United...
1942? Jesus, dude, I wasn't even alive!
...of World War II. In Boston, Massachusetts, hundreds gathered at the popular Coconut Grove nightclub to celebrate the Thanksgiving weekend. The club was packed beyond its 460-person capacity, with an estimated 1,000 patrons filling its dining room.
Wow, 1,000 people at this place? Dude, they were partying for Thanksgiving, bro.
At 10:15 p.m., a small fire began near an artificial palm tree in the Melody Lounge downstairs. A busboy had lit a match to replace a light bulb, accidentally igniting the flammable decorations. Within seconds, the flame climbed up the palm tree and spread across the ceiling's cloth decorations. Witnesses later reported that the fire moved faster than a person could run. The blaze raced through the building with terrifying...
Yeah, that's the thing. Fire goes quick, bro.
Toxic smoke filled the rooms before many patrons even realized what was happening. The club's main exit, a revolving door, quickly became jammed with bodies as panicked guests rushed toward it. Other exits were locked or blocked to prevent patrons from leaving without paying.
I don't care, bro. I'm breaking down the door, dog. If there's a fire, I'm busting through the wall. I'm busting on the wall.
Plunging the club into darkness except for the advancing wall of flames. People trampled each other in blind panic. Those who couldn't reach exits were overcome by carbon monoxide and cyanide gas released from burning decorations. Firefighters arrived within minutes, but found victims already beyond saving. Many were found still seated at their tables, killed so quickly by the toxic smoke that they never stood up. Others were stacked several bodies deep at blocked exits, crushed or suffocated while trying to escape. The heat was so intense that gold rings melted on victims' fingers. Survivors described hearing screams abruptly stopping as smoke filled each room. Those who escaped the fire often died later in hospitals from severe burns and damaged lungs. When the final count was made, 492 people had perished, making it the deadliest nightclub fire in American history.
What?
Football game.
Happy Thanksgiving. What?
29th, 1900, the annual big game between rivals Cal and Stanford drew thousands of spectators to San Francisco. The highly anticipated Thanksgiving weekend match was a major social event, with tickets selling out weeks in advance. I go to football games all the time. For those unable to secure admission, creative alternatives emerged. At the Pacific Glassworks factory near the field, the flat roof offered a perfect vantage point to watch the game for free.
Oh, they're savage. These people climbed up on a random building to watch the game for free.
Over 100 spectators had gathered atop the building.
They're savage.
Many were young men and boys who had climbed the fire escapes and ladders to avoid paying the entrance fee. Below them, inside the factory, workers tended to glass-making furnaces that reached temperatures of 500 degrees Fahrenheit. Just before 2:30 p.m., as the crowd on the roof grew increasingly dense, witnesses heard a sudden cracking sound. The decades-old wooden roof, never designed to hold such weight, began to splinter. Spectators at the edges tried to scramble away, but there was nowhere to run. Within seconds, the entire center section gave way. 23 people plunged 45 feet through the collapsing structure. Some fell directly into the massive glass furnaces below.
They fell into the lava!
The molten glass instantly engulfed those who landed in it, causing immediate and catastrophic burns. Others struck metal equipment or concrete floors, suffering devastating traumatic injuries. The factory workers below had no warning. One moment they were working their shifts. The next, bodies were raining down among them. The screams lasted only moments. Those who fell into the furnaces died almost instantly. Their bodies consumed by temperatures hot enough to melt bone. First responders arrived to find a scene of chaos.
Their bones were melting.
The factory floor was littered with bodies. Some victims were unrecognizable, their features obliterated by the fall or the extreme heat.
Oh, that's crazy. So if they fell in the lava and their bones melted and everything melted, they couldn't even identify them. So they couldn't even call their family and say, hey, Billy Bob ended up falling down the building and died. They couldn't even identify these dead people. Oh my gosh. And this is right before Thanksgiving. Bro, all right, have fun during Thanksgiving. Don't stand on a building, bro.